welcome to MCSE TV. Now guys, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock we take on Arsenal in Baku in the Europa League final. Now guys, tomorrow's the night, it's finally here. I am literally so nervous about this game, guys. I can guarantee that I'll be sitting on the edge of my seat for the entire game, honestly. I am literally so anxious. I mean, we've gone this far. This is our only chance of silverware this season. And it's finally here, you know. We want to do it. We want to smash it. And we want to be bringing that Europa League trophy back to Stamford Bridge, you know. And there's obviously a lot riding on this game. Obviously, with the rivalry between Arsenal and Chelsea, it's a London derby in Baku. It's huge. So we just want to do it and prove a point, you know. But yeah, honestly, just thinking about it right now, literally, it's only Tuesday morning. What am I going to be like by 8 o'clock tomorrow night, you know? I think all of us Chelsea fans are really nervous, so, you know, like, it's huge. So yeah, so guys, I thought, you know what, let's run through how we actually have got on in the Europa League. I am actually going to be doing an article for the Chelsea Echo about this, running through each game and how each game went for us. So I will be sharing that on my Twitter, so make sure to look out for that later on. But I'm going to run you through each game. I'm not going to say all the goal scorers and run how it went, etc. As I said, that's what I'll do in my article, because I'm sure you guys, if I do it on camera, are going to get annoyed at me. So yeah, so obviously our first Europa League game was against PAOK away and we won 1-0, so that was a pretty decent start to the Europa League for us this season, not too bad at all. And then our second game was against Fiji at home at Stamford Bridge and we won 1-0, so obviously it did take us a little bit to get going in the Europa League. We weren't having like 2 or 3-0 wins, it just took us a little bit to get going, but we got 2 nice 1-0 wins in a row and kept clean sheets, that was good. Now our third game was against Bait at home and we won 3-1, and that was good, you know. That was in the group stage, Group L, and yeah, and as I said, I wasn't going to do goal scorers, but obviously Ruben Loftus-Cheek scored a hat-trick then, so that was amazing. Unfortunately he's not going to be playing tomorrow, obviously because he's injured, but third game in we did really well against Bay. Yeah, we did concede a goal, but for Ruben to get a hat-trick and for us to score 3 goals was really good. Now our fourth game was against Bait away and we won 1-0. And then our fifth game was against PAOK at home and we won 4-0. Again, that was when our results really started to lift off. To keep a clean sheet like that at home against Fiji, it's good, you know. Maybe one of our easier games in the Europa League, no disrespect to them, but still, really good result. And also you can only beat what's in front of you, you know. And then obviously we took on Fiji away and we drew 2-2. We didn't get a win there, but obviously we got a draw, so that was good enough at that stage, you know. And then we took on Malmo away and then we won 2-1. And then we took on Malmo at home and we won 3-0, and that was obviously a 5-1 win on aggregate. And then Dynamo Kiev. Now, let's face it, Chelsea fans, this is probably one of the best games that did take part in happened in the Europa League for us Chelsea fans. I mean, we won 3-0 in the first leg at Stamford Bridge and then 5-0 away against Dynamo Kiev in the second leg. And obviously, we won 8-0 on aggregate. Now, from all season's results in all competitions, that is probably the best game. Yeah, it was split across 2 legs, but to get an 8-0 win is the best scoreline we've had all season. That's the most amount of goals we've scored all season across 2 legs, you know, so like that's brilliant. And then Slavia Prague away we won 1-0, and then yeah, that was in the quarter-final. And then obviously we won 4-3 at Stamford Bridge, so we won 5-3 on aggregate. Now that was a really nerve-wracking game because obviously we started off quite well. We won Slavia Prague 1-0, and then when we brought it back to Stamford Bridge, we conceded 3 goals. So that was a very nerve-wracking game, but in the end we got the job done. And then away to Frankfurt, we drew 1-1. That was obviously a very nerve-wracking game because that was obviously the semi-final. And then it come back to Stamford Bridge and we drew 1-1, so it finished 2-2 on aggregate. And then we won 4-3 on penalties. So that was a very nerve-wracking game indeed. Oh my days, I remember sitting there during the penalty shootout and it didn't really go our way at some points, did it? Obviously we missed some penalties, but then Kepa saved like 2. It was amazing what he did. So yeah, so that's a very nerve-wracking game, but in the end we got the job done, so happy days. guys. Now guys, I'll quickly run you through what Sarri said in his press conference. Now this took place like a few days ago now, you know. It was like last week sometime, I can't remember what day, but this press conference was a little while ago, so things might have changed with certain players, etc. So I do apologise about that. So he said, we are trying to recover N'Golo Kante. He is optimistic Kante can play the final. He is the only injured player who can recover in time. So obviously we know that Callum Hudson-Odoi's out, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's out, Antonio Rudiger's out. We all know they're out. Rudiger's obviously going to the final. What a legend. There was a picture of him getting on the plane with his crutches yesterday. What a guy, honestly. So yeah, Rudiger is going anyway. It's just to watch, but obviously he can't play. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that might have developed, that might have changed now. I'm really not sure what's happening with Kante. Fingers crossed he will be able to play. Like, fingers crossed big time. 'Cause if not, that will be us without two of our main defensive midfielders, which is obviously Ruben and Kante. So fingers crossed, you know. Sarri says that at the moment he's only thinking as far as next week regarding his future. After that, he wants to discuss his future with the club, which is normal at the end of a season, and he would be happy to stay in the Premier League. So obviously, as I mentioned in that video when I was doing kind of like an end of season review like the other week, I did actually say like this might affect Sarri's job a little bit, like the stance it has, if he'll stay or not. People are saying it's all regarding the Europa League final, how he does here, it's if he stays, so we'll wait and see. Sarri says the location for the Europa League final is difficult for the fans, so there could be a better location for it. He's disappointed that Arsenal's Henrique Mkhitaryan will not be able to be on the pitch, and that is a real shame. And obviously the location is a massive talking point. People aren't happy about it at all. The Chelsea fans that have actually travelled, like, even they might not be happy about it. They're still gone because they've had to, they've had no choice, but it was so expensive. I wouldn't have been able to afford to go to that. Sarri explains that usually a match against Arsenal is an open match and is such a contest. Loftus-Cheek would have been important. He adds that Arsenal have good strikers, but our feeling is we deserve to win this final and want this trophy. Now, ahead of our game against Arsenal tomorrow, Kepa said, both the fans and the players are relishing this match. It's going to be another very difficult game and a derby and a final, so anything could happen. We are going to train for every eventuality and we will go out there and fight for the title. Fingers crossed, you know, I love that attitude. Now guys, I'm quickly going to run you through my predicted starting 11 for tomorrow's game. So obviously I'd go with Kepa in goal, standard, usual. My back four would be Azpilicueta, David Luiz, Christensen and Emerson. Obviously Rudiger can't play. And the reason I'd go over Emerson over Alonso, Emerson's played a little bit more in the Europa League, he's got more experience, and obviously he's been a little bit more consistent at the moment, and we can't take any risks tomorrow. We've got to have a full strength squad. Defensive midfield, now obviously this is a little bit touch and go. I would go with Jorginho and Barkley for definite, but the middle position it would have to either be Kante or Kovacic. Now obviously we don't know whether Kante is going to be back or not. Sarri said that he might recover in time, he's not 100% sure, but yeah, so that's touch and go. In midfield, I would go with Hazard and Willian. Now, the reason I haven't gone for Pedro is just simply because I feel like Willian's been playing more in the Europa League and Willian's been scoring some good goals. Yeah, Pedro has as well, but I feel like Sarri is going to go for Willian, you know. It's kind of like Willian's competition. It's along with, I'd go with Giroud up front as well. It's along with Giroud, you know. Giroud's been scoring goals in this competition. Why wouldn't you not play him when he's been doing really well in it? So yes, that is my predicted starting 11, and that is my preview, guys. So yeah, I'm feeling nervous. I'm so excited. The time is tomorrow night. We've got to do it. This is pretty much our last game of the season in a way, isn't it? I said like obviously like Leicester was our last game of the season, but it wasn't really, was it? Because obviously we had this final coming up. So yeah, tomorrow's the night. I'm so excited. And fingers crossed it goes our way. Yeah. So guys, thank you for watching. My score prediction is going to be 3-2 Chelsea. I think it's going to be goals going in everywhere, but that's my opinion. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know down below what you're pretty much for, score predictions and your predicted team lineup. Also guys, don't forget to hit that big subscribe button down below if you're new to my channel. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Also, don't forget to tune into my match review straight after the game tomorrow, where we'll hopefully be talking about us Blues lifting that Europa League final and winning it up the shells. Thanks!